Director, Library Information Science, and Head, Kalanidhi Division in HAG Scale Pace at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Professor Ramesh Gaur has been recently appointed by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India as an officer on special duty for setting of Indian Institute of Heritage. Professor Gaur is one of the senior most faculty in IGNCA and also officiates for member secretary whenever he is on tour or on leave. As a Dean, IGNCA, he is responsible for management of various academic programs, including 9 postgraduate diploma courses, 5 certum courses, certificate courses, 4 online certificate courses in various disciplines such as cultural management, South Asian studies, Buddhism, digital library and data management, cultural informatics, conservation, folklore, tribal studies, research methodology, ethnographic documentary making and screenwriting, etc. His past assignments include university librarian in the most prestigious universities in the country, Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, New Delhi, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, TIFR, Mumbai, and CRRI of CSIR, New Delhi, and Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, and IMT Ghaziabad. A Fulbright scholar, Professor Gaur has visited 24 countries, including USA, UK, Australia, Russia, Germany, France, China, Japan, Taiwan, Iran, Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, Panama, South Korea, Bhutan, UAE, and the Netherlands in relation to various assignments related to digital library and allied areas. International and national honors and awards. He has received a series of national and international awards, including ISLIC SM Ganguly Best Librarian Award for the year 2007, Satkal Young Librarian Award for the year 2009, SRF LIS India Professional Excellence Award 2013, Professional Excellence Award 2015, ADR Publications, Honorable Mention Category, Writing with Integrity, uh, awards from Royal Society of Chemistry, India, Librarian's Choice Award, Dynamic Librarian in recognition to his contributions towards library information science community in India, uh, and a number of awards to his credit. Uh, Professor Gaur is the first Indian nominated as a member International Advisory Committee, UNESCO Memory of the World Project, as well as the member of UNESCO Global Task Force on Indigenous Languages in this year, last year 2020. He is the National Coordinator Experts Group on Memory of the World Project in India, member of Research Council for CSI National Institute of Science, Communication and Information Resources, that is NISCARE, New Delhi, formerly INSTOC, and member International LD Board of Directors, member of various committees of International Federation of Library Associations, that is IFLA, and IPLA Advisory Committee on Global Cultural Heritage, member of Data Beep Advisory Board in USA, Academic Advisory Board of many major publishers, including Elsevier, Springer, Royal Society of Chemistry, EBSCO, ProQuest, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, and many more. Professor Gaur has also served as a member of Expert Consultation Committee for setting of International Center on Documentary Heritage in South Korea and Consultative Committee on Digital Dunhuang, China, member Governing Council at Implement, member of UGC National Committee for implementation of submission of access to electronic theses and dissertations in universities in India, member, Governing Council of Implement, member, National Advisory Board of E-Sodh Sindhu National Consortium, member of Draft Committee of UGC on Plagiarism Regulations in 2018. He is a member of the Library Advisory Board and committees of various universities and institutions across the country. He is a member of editorial and advisory board in several international and national journals. In over 31 years of his professional career, he has authored and edited 10 books and has written over 70 articles, research papers, and has presented over 600 talks in various national and international conferences, webinars, and workshops. He has organized and directed a number of national and international conferences and other events. So the volume of his contribution towards the profession, library information science in particular, and towards the scholarly communication process in general has been outstanding, and we are so fortunate to have him this session to interact with our participants. Sir, our participants include the assistant professors of different grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 of different universities in the state. And 50%, more than 50%, they include faculty members from basic sciences and applied sciences, and rest 50% from humanities and social sciences. And I'm sure the rest of the time, actually he'll be taking 2 sessions today. It's going to be a wonderful time for all of us. Professor Gaur will be talking in the first session on the understanding research publication ethics. It's very, very important issue today. So far as the research publications is concerned, on plagiarism, its detection and avoidance. And the afternoon session, he will be talking on how to avoid publishing in predatory and low quality journals, which is another big issue for all of us who are in the profession of teaching and research. So with this brief introduction, I once again welcome Professor Gaur to the Sambalpur University, and particularly the Human Resource Development Center of Sambalpur University. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Maharana. My voice, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, so, thank you for your kind and very generous introduction. I don't know how much I truly deserve for that. As you have already mentioned, topic of my talk. So let me share my PPT and then I will start.
Yeah, sure.
Without taking more time. If all of you can see my slides.
No, yeah.
Yes, sir. Visible.
This is a
Yes,
slide.
yes,
Visible, sir. Visible.
Okay.
Slide.
So the topic which I am going to speak is understanding research and publication ethics, and I will be focusing more on plagiarism, falsification, and other research misconduct. So let me begin with the certain guidelines, regulations, which you might be knowing, or if you are not knowing, then you should know. These are UGC regulations and guidelines which have been enacted from time to time. So the first thing, as a faculty, as a supervisor, and also if you are associated with your IQAC or library, so you should know that as per the UGC regulation 2009, it is important, it is essential or mandatory that the PhD or MPhil dissertation thesis of your student should be uploaded on Sodh Ganga, e-Sodh Ganga repository. That is mandatory. Now, the second regulation, which Professor Maharana mentioned, that I was the member of this committee, UGC Promotion of Academic Integrity and Prevention of Plagiarism in Higher Educational Institution, Regulation 2018. This was notified in Gazette on 31st July 2018. After that, it is mandatory for all the universities to follow these guidelines and regulations. I will give you some more idea about these regulations. So, then the next important thing is UGC-KA list of quality reference journals. I will be talking more about this in my second presentation after lunch. And then UGC has also approved a 2-credit course, Research and Publication Ethics, to create awareness about research and publication ethics and misconducts. This is mandatory for all pre-PhD students. So if your university is not having this course, you should ask the university to start this course. And the library is the best place. Library science department or library, university library are the best place to start this course, because this is a domain expertise of librarians. Now, there was some confusion regarding UGC self-plagiarism. So UGC clarified it in May 2019. Recently, in September 20, UGC has also prepared a kind of document which is mentioned Good Academic Research Practices, GRP. So that document talks about various issues concerning research integrity, academic integrity, and also different kind of research misconduct, and how things should be taken care. So I'm sure you would like to read these documents. If you don't have copy of this, you can search on internet. In case of if you are unable to get, please contact me. I will provide you copies of any of these regulations. I'm having it. So the first thing which you should know, and your university should make a plagiarism policy based on these university regulations 2018. In this, it is important to create an awareness by organizing this kind of workshop, courses, training programs, and 2-credit research publication ethics course. Second is that your university should provide a plagiarism detection software. If you are a member of UGC consortium, eSodh Sindhu, that Urkund is being provided. Otherwise, you can go for Turnitin. I can give you more idea during my presentation. Then it is also important for all universities under these regulations to constitute 2 level of academic integrity panel. One at departmental level academic integrity panel, which is supposed to be investigative agency, which is supposed to be taking care of all kind of cases which have been complained have been lodged. And then there should be an institutional level integrity panel. That institutional level academic integrity panel is supposed to take action, is supposed to decide on the penalties, and penalties are supposed to be in accordance with these regulations. Like it has been divided into level 1, level 2, level 3 according to the similarities. So and as for these regulation, there are no penalties or punishment up to 10% similarities. These similarities should be after exclusions. I will give you more idea about this in the later slides. So now let's move to another document. This is the kind of structure you should have for plagiarism policy. You can keep these topics in that. I mentioned you about this another document called this GRP. In this it has been recommended that every university should have Office of Research Integrity. Just like you have IQAC, you should also have uh, Office of Research Integrity. And that Office of Research Integrity should take care of various kind of uh, uh, awareness training, and also making guidelines and policies regarding research ethics, regarding various kind of research monitoring, creating research infrastructure, and also uh, some kind of rules, regulations, and mechanisms. So this also you should know about that. Now let me give you some idea about what do you mean by academic integrity or research integrity? Sometimes it is called research integrity, sometimes it is called academic integrity. So basically, research integrity broadly refers to the thoughtful and honest adherence to relevant ethical, disciplinary, and financial standards in promotion, design, conduct, evaluation, and sharing of research. May I request, please switch off your mic. All should mute. Somebody's mic is on, so please mute it. So, according to the uh, other definition, research integrity includes use of honest and verifiable methods in proposing, performing, and evaluating research. Means while doing research, starting from problem formulation to synopsis submission, and also then designing of questionnaire, and then data collection, data analysis, report writing, and finally publishing. At each and every step there is certain regulations, some conventions, some practices which one has to follow. Like you should be honest, follow the honesty in doing research, in data collection, in writing research, in publishing research. Similarly, the objectivity of research, research integrity, carefulness in doing research. It should not be harmful to anybody. Openness in research, reliability, fairness, respect for intellectual property right and copyright. So all these, even responsible monitoring by setting up high standards for supervision, respect for society, respect for colleague. Like example, now we all are passing through this pandemic, and many people believes that this corona was created in a lab in China. If it is true, then it is violation of social responsibility. It means the researcher have violated their norm for respect for the society. So and then taking care of animal and human subjects during research, and also all kind of legal issues. So ethics in research is the broad spectrum of maintaining certain conventions, practices, and regulations, guidelines at every step in the research. But here in my presentation, I will
Sir,
be telling you
sir,
more about. Yes,
sir,
please.
can you explain about confidentiality in your previous slide?
See,
Confidentiality.
confidentiality in many ways. At every step, when you are collecting the data, so you will be giving obtaining certain kind of consent. Suppose you have collected the data based on certain human subject, so you may have promised that you will not disclose the identity of the particular researcher. So that level you have to maintain the confidentiality by protecting the privacy of that particular individual researcher. Similarly, suppose you are a editor, if you are a reviewer, so you are supposed to maintain the confidentiality of the data. You should not disclose it to anybody else, because it is so confidentiality at different level in the research. It is not just at the time of the publishing, but at the time of the data collection, at the time of like if you are a review editor, you should not violate the norms of editorship. and leak the confidentiality of the data. So confidentiality differ in different contexts at different steps in the research. Hope it is clear to you now. Okay, so the next thing which in this presentation, I will be more focusing on research and publication ethics. What do you mean by research and publication ethics? Basically, these are research misconduct or scientific misconduct, means data errors, falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism. So means in this research publication ethics are violation of certain standards, codes of scholarly conduct and ethical behavior in the publication of a article or thesis or a book. And these issues mainly deals with authorship, data ownership, consent and peer review system, conflict of interest, various kind of licensing policies, use of various kind of images or data concerning animal subject or human subject. So at the time of the publishing certain research result, research report in form of an article or thesis, you have to follow a set of common rules and among authors, editors, reviewers, and publisher to protect integrity of the scientific records. Why it is important? Because based on consensus about standards and best practices, ensures the integrity of the scientific record and ensures that readers can trust what they read is the genuine and original research. And if it is based on certain other material, it should be properly cited. So there are some other ethical issues also, like you cannot submit same paper in two different journals. You cannot include a co-author without any contributions in return of favor. You cannot uh, uh, disclose the confidentiality of data, the paper you are reviewing. You should not use any inappropriate statistical techniques. You should not bypass the review process and so and so. So all these issues which are basically related publishing a research or research publication ethics comes under research publication ethics. Let me go in more details. Basically, why do we do research? To contribute to or extend knowledge. And how do we do this? By building on the work of others. Means no research can be done without referring existing knowledge. You have to understand the current scenario. You have to know that the research which you are proposing, how it is fit in the current context. You are expected to place your research in the right context to show that you are aware of what else is happening, to show that you understand where your work fits in this current context. So your report must contain an analysis of similar and relevant work. And the most important thing in this process is that when you are writing a research report, you have to make a clear distinction between what are your original ideas and what you have borrowed from other sources in form of quotation, paraphrasing, or summarizing. And that work or idea can be anything. It can be description, it can be a data, it can be opinions, pictures, figures, tables, anything. And why this is important? You have to make this distinction because the reader, the examiner, the reviewer should understand difference between what are your own ideas and what you have borrowed from other sources. And if you are unable to make that distinction, you are violating certain norms, you are violating certain codes of conducts, and then it becomes a research misconduct. Means fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, or any other practice that seriously deviates from practices commonly accepted in the discipline or in the academic and research community, generally in proposing, performing, reviewing, or reporting research and creative activities. So these research misconducts are of different types. There are some intentional act, there are some unintentional, some accidental. So when we talk about intentional act of research misconduct, fabrication is the one in that series. Means it is an intentional act of making up data or results and recording or reporting them. Means you are using fake data. Example, there was a researcher from IMTech Chandigarh. He went to South Korea, and after returning from here, he informed his supervisor that I have done wonderful research and I have collected some data. So, based on that data, about 7 articles were published in different journals, and later it was found that that data was fake data. So later the student and the supervisor both were terminated. So it means some people are doing it, and it is considered an academic fraud also. Second is the falsification. Means you are manipulating research materials, equipment, or processes, or changing or omitting, suppressing data or result without scientific or statistical justification. You want certain desired result which you are not getting from your data, so you are manipulating data, you are manipulating consent, you are manipulating materials. You at the time of the statistical analysis, you are misrepresenting the data. So this is also an academic fraud or intentional act of plagiarism. In this also, a person knows very well whatever he or she is doing is wrong, even then that person is doing. So that's also considered a kind of punishable offense. Now coming to plagiarism, it is the act of stealing someone else's work and attempting to pass it off as your own work. This can apply to anything from papers to photographs to song or even ideas. So in this particular plagiarism, uh, there is a chances that some people may not intentionally doing it. It is accidental. It may be happening because of uh, lack of proper regulations, lack of proper awareness about how to cite properly, lack of awareness about various kind of standards, code of conducts, or various kind of like how much is quoting excessively is not allowed. See, generally, mm, just yesterday I got a mail from a very senior professor from JNU that how much is allowed, how much is considered legitimate or genuine, how much percentage of quotations. So basically, you cannot have excessive quotings. And how much is considered? See, there is no limit, no regulation, no standard code of conducts define any percentage for quotation. But generally, based on my experience and practices, you should not have quotations exceeding more than 10 to 20% of the total contents. If you have more than that, it is not considered a very good quality paper. So you are quoting excessively. It is not something you are doing intentionally. It may be required. So in this unintentional plagiarism, it may be because of many reasons. Like English as a language, we all comes from different backgrounds. From mother tongues are different: Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Punjabi. So when we start writing in English, we are not very accurate or perfect. So what we do, we try to copy the contents from some other English publication and try to mix it up. So in this entire mix up, what will happen? Sometimes we commit mistake and that becomes plagiarism. We also don't know many times how to follow the international style of documentation. So unintentional or accidental plagiarism is something which you don't want to do it, but it is happening because you are committing certain errors or mistakes. Now comes to the self plagiarism. This is another types of form of plagiarism which is related to your own publications. Many times authors believes it is my paper. I can quote as much as I want, and there are no restriction on my use of my material, which is not true. Your paper is also a reference, and there are certain rules which you have to follow. And in this regard, UGC has very clearly clarified that reproduction in part or whole of one's own previously published work without adequate citation and proper acknowledgement and claiming the most recent work as new and original for any academic advantage amounts to text recycling, means self-plagiarism. So the rules for your paper and my paper are the same. You have to do either summarizing, paraphrasing, or quotation. There is only one exception in case of self-plagiarism, that is, a PhD student can include his or her papers if papers have been published during the period of the research, on the topic of the research, and the researcher is the first author. In that case, you can include your papers in the thesis. But please note down, when you are going to convert that thesis as a book, you cannot include those research papers because these research papers are allowed only in thesis, not in the book. So when you violate these regulations, there are different kind of penalties, and these penalties are for both or all students, faculty, staff. There is no difference between plagiarism done by whom. So, and in India currently, these penalties are done on the basis of UGC regulation 2018. If you are following any other norms, you are violating the rules. So you have to give the punishment, or you have to deal with these cases based on UGC regulation 2018. Only students are not involved in that. There are people who have been various senior positions. They have also been found engaged in plagiarism. This German education minister, she resigned because her thesis was found plagiarized. Some doctor in Abdul Aziz Medical College in Gulf countries. This was the case I was referring. I am Tech Chandigarh. Even some professors did some plagiarism to the contents of their own colleagues. A vice chancellor was asked to clarify. Sometimes people can take extreme steps in case if they found that they have been labeled as a plagiarist. This gentleman was one of 11 authors on one paper and one of 8 in the another author. Papers were retracted, means these were found plagiarized, and in the disgrace, this gentleman committed suicide. So you have to be very careful. Even a girl, MPhil student from from Veer Narma, South Gujarat University, also committed suicide because her MPhil dissertation was found plagiarized. Publishers are also aware of it. There is a committee on publication ethics to deal with these issues of plagiarism. Almost every publisher, every journal is the member of this particular group, and that committee has laid down pre-publication checking of plagiarism, post-publication checking of plagiarism. There is a flow chart. Every publisher has to follow it. Those who are a member of COPE have to follow. It is mandatory for them. And COPE has also given certain minimum guidelines for the punishment. for the penalties. Like if it is a minor case of plagiarism, if paper has been submitted, a publisher need to ask the authors to rewrite. If it is a minor case of plagiarism, if paper has been published, author need to be asked to correct it. Now, in case of major case of plagiarism, if a paper has been submitted, it is to be rejected. If paper has been published, it is to be retracted. At the same time, the institute of the author should be informed about this case, that your author has done so and so plagiarism. So there will be two-way punishment. One is the punishment given by the publisher, and then second level, the punishment to be given by the institution. This is a very serious kind of case. Publishers take action based on their guidelines. If you see the guidelines to authors, everything is very clearly defined in that. Now, this is examples like in case of this Journal of Thermal Spray Technology of Springer. If a minor case of plagiarism, warning is given to author and request to change the text and properly cite the original article is made. If it is intermediate case of plagiarism, like significant portion of paper is plagiarized without proper citation to the original paper, the submitted article is rejected and the authors are forbidden to submit further articles for 1 year in Springer. If it's a severe case, means a significant portion of a paper is plagiarized, that involves reproduction, original results or ideas presented in another publication. In that case, the paper is rejected and authors are forbidden to submit further articles for 5 years. But these are the guidelines which vary from publisher to publisher, and mostly these are given in the guidelines to authors. So once the paper is found plagiarized, it is being retracted and put it under retraction watch. So number of retraction cases are increasing till 2015, but after 2015, the cases are declining. It doesn't mean that people have stopped doing plagiarism. It is because now publishers are very well equipped with plagiarism detection softwares. There is a multiple level of plagiarism detection strategies, like at the time of the submission, after the reviewing, and also at the final publication time. So in that case, the plagiarism cases are being reduced, and also now retraction takes a lot of time. So that's the reason declining in the retraction cases. So till this presentation, I try to explain you what is plagiarism, what are the consequences of the plagiarism. In this case, now I'm going to talk about another important topic, that is plagiarism detection. You may be 100% correct in writing. You may be 100% honest in writing your paper or thesis or a book, but there may be some unintentional or accidental plagiarism. So how to check that unintentional or accidental plagiarism? So for that, you need anti-plagiarism tools to check the software. There are plenty of anti-plagiarism tools. In India, Turnitin and Urkund along with Authenticate are most used software. Turnitin and Authenticate belongs to the same company, and it is available for subscription. Anybody can subscribe it. Urkund is also available for subscription, but more than that, Urkund is made available free to the university by the InfluentNet Center under eSodh Sindhu Consortium. So in that particular consortium, if you are the member, you can get free access to that. How to find out which is the best software? So the quality of a software is being judged on the basis of two important things. The first is databases for content matching. If you see that Turnitin and Authenticate have the largest database and they are connected with the Crossref. So when you are checking similarities using Turnitin or any other software, you will find better results through the Turnitin because Turnitin is checking your contents with all possible sources. Another important criteria is the languages. Turnitin is currently available for 27 languages. So that's another reason why similarities in Turnitin are better or more as compared to Urkund or any other software. So these are the my criteria of judging the quality of a plagiarism detection software. Uh, Advantages, all plagiarism detection software helps in preventing plagiarism. It also helps in peer review system. It also helps in citation verification. There are a number of other advantages. But every software is having certain limitations. So is the case of plagiarism detection software. No plagiarism detection software can check the contents which are not available on the internet. It cannot help in correctly checking mathematical formulas, tables, graphs, images, and so and so. So, but despite of these limitations, it is important to use a good plagiarism detection software. Before checking any similarity report or originality report, we call it, we should know what need to be excluded, and these exclusions are very clearly defined in the regulations and also in the like general rules and guidelines. Bibliographies, quotations are excluded. Smaller matches are excluded. Coincidental terms, common knowledge, coincidental terms up to 14 consecutive words, all these things are excluded. So after exclusions, you should all check this report. This is the way a similarity report is being generated using Turnitin. So right side is your similarities, to left side contents. So in that case, what one should know how to analyze these similarities report. It is very, very important. One has to understand. So when you are checking similarity report, there are a number of regions because of that similarities are shown. Number one, it may be wrong citation, incomplete citation, or without citation. So in that case, you have to give the correct citation. Number two, it may possible that you have taken some ideas, you have copied some ideas, but now how to correct those ideas? There are two ways. You can summarize it, you can re-paraphrase it, or you can delete it. And in case of paraphrasing or summarizing, you have to give the citation also. If it is coincidental or common knowledge, you can ignore it. So this is the way you should analyze a similarity report, and that way you can reduce your plagiarism similarity percentage. Please note it down that no software will tell you what is plagiarism. It is you who has to give your thoughts, and it is important that your content should be checked along with software like Turnitin and other thing. You should also use software like Grammarly for grammar correction and grammar checking. So in that way, many of the errors can be reduced by Grammarly and then further by the Turnitin. So for a good quality software, Turnitin and Grammarly should be used in tandem. So for a good quality research, you have to ensure that you have tools to help you. 0% similarities are ideal, but it may not be possible because of many reasons. Please also note any similarities can be plagiarism. All similarities may not be plagiarism. UGC has allowed 10% similarities, but these 10% similarities should not be copying. Like you copy 10% contents from something and say that 10% is allowed. No, 10% similarities excluded by UGC includes coincidental terms, common knowledge, and other kind of thing which are unavoidable. But it doesn't mean copy. So now hope you able to understand how to do the plagiarism detection in your contents. And I suggest that from the day one you are start writing an article, you should make use of plagiarism detection software. Now let me come to the another topic: how to avoid plagiarism. Prevention is the best uh, in protecting your contents and creating good quality contents. Uh, must do things before start of your research. First thing, you should be honest in writing or in doing research. Second important thing, you should be a good reader because your knowledge comes through good quality reading. You can be a good searcher, how to do good quality search. And before doing research, you should understand what is plagiarism, how to detect and how to avoid it. There are the things which are important. You should know about the guidelines provided by your university, guidelines provided by UGC and other funding agencies before writing a research. And same time, you should also update yourself. You should attend research methodology workshop, English remedial courses, classes, training in reference management tools like Mendeley and Note. You should regularly attend library orientation program, author workshops. When I was in JNU, I used to organize a lot of author workshops. Reading is very important for both the doing research and also enhancing your knowledge. And what to get out of one reading, it is important. So there are some tips are required to understand how to read and understand, analyze, and take notes from an article. This is a reference which you can use from this source. At same time, you should have an account in plagiarism detection software, reference management tools, research. You should be a member of research forums, online discussion group. So to become a good researcher, first you have to become a good, properly managed research person who understand what are the essential requirement to do for doing research. Before starting research or before publishing your article, you should register at ORCID. ORCID also it is called ORCID, ORCID. So this is a researcher registry system, and it is one of the most used and most important researcher registry system. On 22nd, there is one university is organizing a webinar on this topic. If you are having time, you can join it. I will share the link with you. So there are a number of advantages of ORCID. Once you create your profile, every time you need not to provide it to your any publisher, because most publishers are accepting ORCID ID. Same time, if your name is like suppose my name is Ramesh C Gaur, I write Ramesh Chandra Gaur, I write Ramesh Gaur, I write RC Gaur. So like if by going names, the citation go to any Ramesh Gaur, because there may be number of Ramesh Gaur. So in that case, I think it is important to have ORCID ID. Similarly, for girls, after marriage, they change their surnames. So connecting your previous publication, it is also important. You change your job, so affiliation also got changed. So there are a number of reasons why ORCID ID is important for you. Another important thing which you should know and you should be part of that is forums to share research, academia, and ResearchGate. These are the forums which are very, very important, which help you in creating and enhancing visibility of your research. It helps you in joining a good research network. It also helps you in getting references which are not available in your library or not part of your reference list. And more than that, these platforms help you in understanding ongoing research or current research in progress. So you should be a member of these. These are the free. So my assignments to all of you is, I think today you should join ORCID, you should join ResearchGate, and you should also join Academia. Faculty 1000 is the another important such platform. So that way you create a good research profile. Now, next important thing in avoiding plagiarism is how to do good quality search. Because if you are using good quality contents, only then you can create good quality research. What is research? So research is made up consists of two terms, re and search. Re in research is a misnomer. So hence the search become very important. And do you know how to search? And this literature review, which is very important component of the research, many times people believe that this is just to write a paper, a chapter on literature review. No, this is not the case. Purpose of literature review is to make you a good reader. Like you should consult relevant readings, databases, and internet, and that consultation or search should provide you results which are very relevant, which are very useful for your research, in verifying your research, in justifying your research, and also helping further action on the research. So when you are starting from the problem formulation to the publishing, every time you need to search. And in this process, you need to understand the nitty-gritty of good quality search. Nowadays, we are all dependent upon the Google. Whenever we need something, we go to Google. So Google has become a very important component of our life. Similarly, other search engines. But when you are searching, what you are looking for? You are looking for most important results, most relevant research results on your research topic. But all these standard search engines, are they helping you or they are creating problem for you? Please note it down following things which I am going to explain here to you. Google or any other standard search engines provide access to just 15 to 20% web contents because they are not indexing 80 to 85% of web content. So means when you are searching on Google, you are not getting results from the entire web. Point number 2. When you search on Google or any other standard search engine, these search engines does not certify the authenticity of the information. This is a fake information. There is a disinformation. There is a this is the misinformation. They will never tell you what kind of information it is. Point number 3. While searching on Google or any other standard search engines, you may not get most relevant results higher up in relevancy ranking. This is the example. I was searching on top, if you see this image in this slide, I was searching for top open access journals, and the result was, the first result was top best open access journal, Omics International. Omics International is a predatory publisher. So now can you see that I'm asking Google to give me the best open access journal, and the first result is predatory journal. So the relevancy ranking is not, and many of the results coming in this order may not be relevant to you. So how to deal with this information overload? First, please try to understand internet is not a library or even not a digital library. Internet has many things. So when you are searching on internet, you should know how to search on internet, what to search on internet, what not to search on internet. And in this context, you should understand this entire web. It is divided in three parts: surface web, deep web, and dark web. Surface web is what you are searching on Google or any other standard search engine. The dark web is something which is having various kind of information with encrypted sites or illegal information or certain kind of information which you don't want for research. What you need for research is something called deep web, which is contain a lot of academic information in government resources. Now, how to search this deep web? Because this deep web is very useful for you, and many of you are not aware of that. Most of the researchers are not aware how to search on deep web, and most of the information available on the deep web is free. It is not. You need not to subscribe it. 90% of the deep web is publicly accessible, meaning no fees or subscription. So this is also important for you to understand that how to search deep web using various kind of additive search or meta search discovery. And in this context, a different kind of search engines have been developed by the researcher in the field. And these search engines include semantic search tools and databases, meta search engines like Academic Index, general search engines and databases like Oyster, academic search engines and databases like Google Scholar, scientific search engines and databases like GoPubMed, collaborative information in databases like Delicious, open access search engines like Core. See, basically there are hundreds of search engines. I required at least 1 to 2 hours time to explain everything, but it is not possible because I'm here speaking on a different topic. So you should know what are the best deep web search engines for your research. These are the different kind of search engines in different discipline. Like if you are a finance student, then free lunch, Bankrate. If you are a science student, then GoPubMed and different other search engines are available. So next thing which you should know is referencing. What is referencing? What is citation? How do I cite? When do I need to cite? Difference between bibliography and unitary bibliography. Difference between endnotes and footnotes. So this is important for you to understand. Citation means simply clearly giving credit where credit is due. And that proper citation credit is given by providing the author, title, and publication information for the print, online, broadcast, and interview-based texts or Google, various kind of bibliographic or references. And based on different citation styles, there are different way of rendering of this particular information, like in MLA or in APA or in IEEE. There's a different way of rendering the bibliographic details. So now you have to understand that how to render that information for a blog article, for a book chapter, for a article published in a journal. So instead of worrying about it, you should learn automatic referencing, means various kind of reference management tools like Mendeley and EndNote. I will be giving you some guidelines on that, but it is important for you to understand referencing and citation. Now, next important thing to avoid plagiarism is when you are writing a paper, you should have some tips of writing. I think there are many workshops are conducted on how to write a good quality papers, how to write, when to write. First, you need to prepare an abstract, an article, title of an article, and how to structure your article. All these things are very important for you to understand and make it useful for you. And whenever you are writing, first thing you should understand that nobody expects you to write like a genius in first attempt, but everybody expects from you that when you write, you should write like a serious, intelligent student or researcher. And while writing, you should properly give citation to all the sources. Now, Next thing is how to use other references in your writings. So there are only three ways of using other references. You can use other references by summarizing, paraphrasing, or quoting. There are no other ways. So summarizing, when and how to summarize. When you summarize, you provide your readers with a condensed version of an author's key points. A summary can be as short as a few sentences or much longer, depending on the complexity of the text and the level of detail you wish to provide to your readers. And after that, you need to give citation to this particular source. Now, second way is paraphrasing. Paraphrase is a restatement in your own words of someone else's ideas. Changing a few words of the original sentence does not make your writing legitimate paraphrase. You must change both the words and the sentence structure of the original without changing the contents. And also, you should keep it in mind that paraphrase passages still required citation because the idea comes from another source, even though you are putting them in your own words. And as a good and smart researcher, you should learn how to change the order and structure of sentences, use synonyms, different forms of the words, and may change the voice or perspective. So, this is something, second thing you should know. Third is using quotation. This is the most popular form of using references from other sources. But while quoting, you should also understand what is quoting, when to quote, how much to quote. How do I incorporate quotation in my paper? Quoting within quotes. How do I include quotation in my paper? Or single versus double quotation, punctuating quotations. All these things should be properly known to you. When to quote? See, basic rule of thumb in all discipline is that you should only quote directly from a text when it is important for you, your reader to see the actual language used by the author of the source. When you plan to discuss the actual language of a text, when you are discussing an author's position or theory and you plan to discuss the wording of a core assertion of kernel of the argument in your paper. Quotation is never to increase the number of words. It is to justify your argument or connect your thoughts of original thoughts with the existing knowledge. How much to quote? Anything beyond 4 words need to be cited. A quote is a word, sentences, or sentence that a writer copies exactly from a source. No word to be changed. And a quote is enclosed in quotation marks if it is up to 39 words. If it is more than 39 words, means 40 or more words, it stands alone without quotation marks and is indented 5 spaces from the left margin. But if you don't want to learn all these rules, better to learn Mendeley or EndNote automatic citation tools, because do the automatic referencing instead of manually learning all those things. Manually you can commit the mistake, but automatically there is no chances of any mistake. Single versus double quotation. You should use double quotation marks when you quote material from a source. If you are also quoting passages from that source that were quoted in the original source, use single quotation marks to indicate that the original source contained the quotation. When to punctuate the quotation, you should know about that. Another important thing is what is common knowledge. Common knowledge is a well-known fact, information that is likely to appear in numerous sources and to be familiar to a large number of people. This is the only time you need not to cite information. But you should be 100% sure. If you are not sure, then better to cite it. Don't leave it. Some examples of common knowledge. Smoking can cause respiratory diseases such as emphysema and cancer. In that case, you should leave it. You are not required to cite it. Another important thing you should know is plagiarism and group work. Some assignments and assigned practical tasks require you to work in groups. Sometimes you will submit a single piece of work as a joint report. Sometimes you will work together but submit separate reports. In all cases, you need to give citation to all those credit is due. This I have already explained you that a researcher can include PhD research paper in his PhD thesis, and in this case, it is excluded from the similarities. Right? Now, coming to the reference management tools, you should understand that automatic citation is the best way to avoid any kind of error in citation. So there are a number of automatic citation tools, and some of the most important, EndNote is available free with Web of Science, and Mendeley is another very good software. It is a free reference manager. It is also it is available in desktop as well as web version. So if you install both versions, it works in sync with each other. So in this context, Mendeley web version is having a limitation of 12 gigabyte space, but desktop version is having no limited. Basically, this software also works as a research diary. So, and it's a very good PDF annotator. So you should use this as a research manager also. Put your all research readings, references, writing in progress, research in progress, everything in this library view in the desktop version. And whenever you are reading an article, you should read that article in Mendeley, not in from hard disk or from others. So what is the advantage of reading it from Mendeley? When you read it, you have option to mark it like paragraphing or paraphrasing or summarizing or quotation, and this is the one advantage. Second advantage, when you are writing your thesis in Word, go to MS Word, and after reaching in MS Word, you put this like plugin, Mendeley plugin, and click insert quotation. And when you click on insert quotation, you will come to this file and open the file and select the quotation and insert quotation. So quotation will be inserted automatically in your paper. Reference list will be generated and numbering will also be done. So there are a number of advantages of this. I think better your course coordinator should organize a good session. At least you need to have minimum 2 to 3 hour session on this tool. This is very important for you, all of you. Jotero is another software which is also a reference manager, but I always recommend Mendeley. Jotero, you can use Jotero also. So to conclude it, I would like to say plagiarism is something which is a serious offense and need attention of everybody, and also we need to have proper guidelines, proper strategy to deal with it. It can be reduced by proper awareness, counseling, by following strict discipline, and it is important for every university to have a plagiarism policy in place. It is also important to have guidelines, and also see, this is most helpful for the researcher themselves. They should understand all guidelines, all regulation, everything is in there to help them. So instead of doing any kind of plagiarism, they should understand that these guidelines, regulation help them in protecting their research contents, and they should ensure that they should not do any kind of plagiarism. With these words, I close it. I give acknowledgement to my all sources which I have used in this presentation. These are my email IDs. I'll be happy to, I have kept some 10-15 minutes for the question answer session. I will try to answer some questions now, but if you need some more interaction, then you can ask me through email, or you can note it down. If you forget to ask any questions now, you can ask me in the second questions section session that will start at 3 o'clock. So I will stop share and I will come to the screen. If you have any question or interaction or suggestion, let just and
Good morning, sir. So this is Dr. Dityarika Mahapatra from PG Department of Law, Sambalpur University. So it is very enriching session indeed. How passed and I could know how it passed. So my question is that when we are having number of papers, suppose I have written and published in many journals. So can I put it in book form, the same already published?
yeah, there is no harm in publishing your papers in a book form, but there are certain rules to be followed. Number one, when you are publishing a book based on your articles, you should seek copyright permission from all the publishers, because if you don't have copyright, you cannot include in your book. That's the number one. Number two, in the book, you have to clearly give a declaration that this article was published in so and so journal and has been reproduced in a book form. Third thing is that you have to, if you have any co-author in that article, you have to seek the permission of the co-authors also, that I want to publish this as a book form. So after following these guidelines, you can publish this in your book form. There is no problem. But otherwise, anything is not followed, it may be a problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, please. Any other question or clarification, or anybody else?
So I will be asking some questions in your email ID. So right now, so later on I'll ask definitely.
Yeah, sure. You can email me. I will respond to you. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, anything regional language, how it can be plagiarism will be checked? Means regional language like Oriya for our Odisha people. Turnitin will be working for that them or not?
No, the brain. Right now, there is no good quality software available for Hindi or any Indian regional languages. There work is being done by Turnitin, but so far they have not launched for Indian regional languages or Hindi. Some local softwares are claiming, but I doubt their usefulness. So far we are still waiting to have a good quality software for Hindi and other Indian languages, regional languages.
Can I access the Turnitin personally? Means whether it is free or not, means for my students or for my research scholar thesis of my research scholar, can I check the plagiarism using Turnitin by myself, or I have to subscribe it, or our institute has to be subscribed it?
Hello.
Individual subscription is very expensive.
Hello, sir. Hello. Just I have interrupted, sir. Birendra, sir. Hello. Birendra, sir.
Yes.
Sambalpur University already subscribed Turnitin software. Please contact Bulu Maharana, sir, for your regarding Turnitin login ID. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
sir, one more thing I want to ask you, sir. So in law, what happens? We have to quote the judgment of the Supreme Court or High Court exactly in those terms and words. And legal enactments also, some of the provisions, we have to copy it as it is. So by that process, what happens? The percentage of plagiarism is enhanced. So how to reduce?
So how to tackle such problem? Because my student, my scholar is doing research.
Let me respond. Let me respond. It may be high court, any kind of judgment or anything. You have to put it in proper way as a quotation. As I mentioned you, if it is up to 39 words, put it in double quotes or single quotes. If it is more than that, then follow the rule, 5 spaces from left to right. So if you put properly in quotation, as a quotation, then it will not show in the similarities. It will be showing in the similarities only if quotation is not done. So, and quoting these regulations is not an issue. It's not a problem, and it is very much, quotation is very much allowed. It is not considered similarities. Quotations, bibliographies are excluded from similarities. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sir, namaskar.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I am Chandrasri Lenka from PG Department of Home Science, Sambalpur University. Sir, my question is, while we are checking plagiarism in online checker, plagiarism, it is showing 0. But in Utkund, it is showing 4 to 5%. And that one also showing in Turnitin, it is showing 15-20% like this. So, which one we should follow, means for the students?
If you have Turnitin, go for the Turnitin. That is the best, because Turnitin checks the contents from maximum contents.
Yes.
Software, I never recommend use of free softwares, because free software does not help you in getting the correct similarities. Second thing, sometimes free software also misuse your contents. So my recommendation is, if you have Turnitin or Authenticate, use it. If you don't have, try for Urkund. If you don't have either of these two, take help from other universities who are having these software, but don't use free softwares.
Then sir, means Urkund is also, means it is allowed. Urkund is can
Yes.
be done.
Urkund is also a good software, but if we have to go to best, I consider currently Turnitin Authenticate best. But if you have Urkund, go for Urkund. There is no problem. Many universities are using Urkund software. It is software.
So
Okay, sir,
recently,
thank you.
my scholar and my student, myself checked her paper, research, review of literature or some chapters. So their quotation is there. In spite of that, it is showing in Turnitin. So it is showing plagiarism message or plagiarism. It is plagiarized. So that it is in quotation. And after being rectified, and it comes out to be 20. Sir, just a minute.
Quotation might not have, so quotation might not have been put correctly. Any software will show you plagiarism if it is quotation, if it is not properly cited. So check your way of citation, because as I mentioned that up to 39 words, the quotation should be in quotes. But beyond that, it should be 5 spaces from the left margin. So in that way, you have to check it. Is it properly done or not?
Sir, in that chapter, initially the plagiarism percentage was 26%. Then she made her effort to reduce that. When she did it, then it finally it comes out to be 98%. So
that 90%. I will tell you why it is like that. In Urkund, there is a procedure to save the previous.
But it is Turnitin. It is in Turnitin.
Turnitin, then there may be some problem in account setting. See, there is a two option in account setting. When you are creating your account, there is an option standard repository or no repository. So whenever you are creating your account in Turnitin, or choose for no repository. If you choose standard repository, then your previous checking got saved. And next time when you are checking, it will be showing 90%, 99% or 100% similarities. So take Maharana. He will help you in this particular process, because
definitely he is helping us, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
This is Kumar. I have a question.
Now we have a number of laws and a number of rules and regulations with regard to plagiarism and other things. But the question is, there are instances in which a number of indigenous practices and knowledge systems are being passed off by members of academic communities as their own. So, is there a mechanism or a device to check this?
Your voice is not coming, Ajit.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yeah, now
Hello.
now it's clear.
Okay, sir. The question that I intended to ask was that now we see that indigenous knowledge system or indigenous practices, which to a number of extent has been proven to be quite scientific, also very effective, they are being used by a number of people in the academic community and elsewhere and passed off as their own. And these knowledge system or the practices, since have not been patented, the problem arises because these people, illiterate and uneducated, they cannot claim, or they cannot go to the court of law saying that this was their knowledge system or this was their practice. So I would like to know if there is a mechanism to check this, or to you know uh, I don't know if there is a mechanism to check. It's just I wanted to know about that.
Yeah, see, basically there are two things. What you are talking is not considering plagiarism. This is a violation of copyright and intellectual property rights. So in that context, suppose if you found that somewhere somebody has done it, violating uh, the norms and patenting or misusing that content, there is a government department, one is the patent office. So you can inform them about these kind of violation or regulations. There is a repository called TKDL, uh,
Okay.
Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, which is basically created to protect such indigenous knowledge systems. So it depends upon like in which particular ministry this is being considered, or if you don't know anything, you just write to this India Copyright Office. There is if it is related to, if it is related to indigenous knowledge system, then you can write to Ministry of Culture also. Depend upon, because what you are talking is the general thing. If you tell me the specific cases, I can guide you. You can write to mail. I can guide you if you have any specific example or specific cases to deal with, because there are specific bodies which can help you in this IPR and intellectual copyright, or any kind of violation of such norms. Very specific departments are there. Like in CSIR, there is a department which deal with all kind of scientific innovations and intellectual property right. Similarly, in Ministry of Culture, we can help you in that if it is something related to dealing with the cultural diversity or some other issues.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir,
Uh,
I think
yeah.
Ajit Babu,
Yes.
sir will be there in the post lunch session also. I know he's hard pressed. He's a very busy person, so he'll be there for to take all the questions. And I think this should be his lecture this morning. Would be very useful and practice to make it a practice in academics. And as I understand, is this ethics, may it be academic ethics or research ethics or ethics with relation to the social practices. This is a common responsibility, collective responsibility. If I find something, then as an individual who is not involved in that, we also sir will correct me. We can put, if anywhere we find the information which is already available there. So there are a whole lot of platforms are available where you can disclose that this information is already available in this community as an indigenous knowledge. So that will actually stop that if somebody is prophesizing that this is my own and claiming that to be his own intellectual property. Isn't it, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. You are absolutely right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the
Thank
lecture
you.
and a lot of interaction. And we'll soon be meeting you in the
Yeah,
post translation, sir.
we'll see you at 3 o'clock. Okay, bye.
Sir,
Thank
and
you so.
I have the responsibility to propose the formal vote of thanks in this
Oh,
session.
sure. Okay.
Uh,
Sir, please go ahead.
so, sir, thanks a lot for this wonderful. Uh, I'm sure a number of our misconceptions have been dispelled by your wonderful presentation, and we are looking forward to the next session. Sir, thanks a lot. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you. See you at 3 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presentation.